A very warm welcome to you, and thank you so much for joining our Homeopathy 24/7 podcast. We are going to be speaking to an array of international guests who will share their knowledge and experiences of homeopathy with you. We will discuss all types of subjects such as remedies, symptoms, and stories of health. No matter where you are with your homeopathic journey, we aim to inspire you on your quest to natural health and living. The podcast is brought to you by Greensmith, the founder of Homeopathy 24/7, which is a global platform connecting you with a homeopath wherever you are in the world, 24 hours a day. So let's get started with today's chat. Please welcome Mary Greensmith.
Hello, welcome. Lovely to see you all. Thank you so much for joining us. And today I'm really pleased to be able to welcome Kristina Samoilova. Thank you for joining us, Kristina. Lovely to see you. How are you today?
Hello. Thank you very much, Mary, for organizing. Yes, we are very well here in Ireland and ready to do that podcast.
Fantastic. And the interesting thing is, obviously, we love to come and talk about homeopathy, but I think you've got a really special topic that is going to be of interest to people because you run a community of people for sensitive people. Can you explain to me a little bit about the sensitivity? What are they sensitive to exactly, and why would this group be useful for them?
Okay, sure. So basically, we talk about sensitive people who sensitive to different um, fragrances. They could be sensitive to smells, to environment, and they could be sensitive to crowd, to other energies, to other people, and of course to the remedies. They could be sensitive to the remedies and have different reactions, and they sometimes don't know what's going on with them. So that's what is our group about, to help people to find and answer the questions. Yeah.
Okay, so that's really useful because we know that's everybody is different and everybody reacts in different ways. People already know that they're sensitive to certain things. So whenever trying anything new, they might well need advice and understand what might happen if they're going to be sensitive to remedies. And I expect that you'll find that certain people have a health history that is repeated, perhaps if they've got lots of allergies or they've got something ongoing like chronic fatigue. Quite often their sensitivities are really heightened.
Yes, absolutely. People coming from different areas, and they could be uh, sensitive and react, on their skin, different skin reactions, or they could react even on the sounds, you
Okay.
know. Yeah,
Yes, and we quite often see that with children with ADHD, don't we? And I
yeah.
often ask people, what is your son like with public bathrooms if there's a hand dryer that's really loud and things like that? And often those sensitivities give us so much more, don't they, about that person?
Absolutely, yeah. And usually we must be very careful to treat that people with the remedies. So we have a different we can use remedies very differently. We can apply them on the skin, and we can smell them. We can, if we can't smell them, we can just inhale the remedies. Or we must be careful as well, like person is not overreacting to the remedies, and if the person take the remedy and it get better, so we need to stop the remedy and not continue and wait. That's very important as well, like the person is not overreacting to the
Yes,
remedy.
I agree, because would it be true to say that sensitive people are going to be act much quicker. Their body's going to react much quicker, which means that they're going to heal much faster because of that sensitivity.
Absolutely, Mary. And sometimes some people, it's very individual. If we're going to be speak about how fast you can heal, it's very individual. You know, if you're kind of very healthy and if you take the constitutional remedy straight away, you don't need to clear that layers from your case, so you can heal a lot faster. You know, you probably won't need to go through the many remedies or many repetition. But if you're quite sick and if your body and your vital force is quite, you know, like low,
Yeah.
so you need to go through, you know, through different remedies and probably in gentler way. Like
Yeah.
you can sometimes use LM potency, you know, with skin application, and you can sometimes can only use once a week,
Yes.
or, you know, like, and go and see how you go with that. That's why homeopathy is very individual.
You're absolutely right. And when we start working with clients quite often for that first 6, 8 week period, we need to keep an eye on to see what happens, especially if we've got people who are allergic to things and we know that their skin's going to be sensitive. And so you're quite right. We think of LM remedies to be given once a day or even twice a day or 3 times a day. But for sensitive people, it might be just once a week or not that often. So everybody is individual and you're taking that into account. But let me ask you a question. With homeopathic treatment, do you see people becoming less sensitive so that they're more comfortable in their own environment?
Definitely, yes. They are more comfortable. But I have to say this, people should understand that sensitivity is not illness. It's a
No.
gift.
Yeah.
That's very important, because some sensitive people, they thought, oh, I'm reacting. I can't deal with like with the reaction of the sound, or, you know, but you can use it in the positive way. And homeopathy help to go through this, you know, through this
Understand.
moments of your life, to strengthen that power, you know, to strengthen, because sensitivity is a power. You can move it as a power.
Okay, that's very interesting. So that leads me to the question then, Kristina, is are we working with homeopathy, but also helping people understand how they can manage their sensitivity in a way that is totally positive to their life and understand it better?
Absolutely, Mary. It's not only about the healing, it is well about the understanding of their inner
Yeah.
world, inner power, inner being. That's definitely homeopathy can be very useful for those people.
It makes me wonder whether we all should be, much more sensitive. And actually, our outer world has made us, ignore the signs, um, and ignore our intuition, and become almost have a barrier between ourselves and the outside world. Whereas sensitive people, that barrier is thinner and they are much more intuitive. Would that?
Absolutely, absolutely. You're absolutely right, and definitely, if we look in that area, we have certain remedies to help people to be more grounded,
Yeah.
to help to go through this, you know, to build that barrier. Like they understand themselves, like it's no danger for them. It's like, you know, because sensitive people, they usually always like in kind of alertness, like it's something could happen with them, and it's also, it could be a gift, but it could be a quite difficult for them, you know, just to live with that. So remedies could definitely help them to go through and strengthen that barrier, strengthen that field.
This is so multifaceted, isn't it? Because we are talking about helping people get through sensitive moments. We're talking about helping people understand their sensitivity. We're talking about helping people become more grounded and able to live in today's environment, whilst taking advantage of their intuition and their inner knowledge that they still have, because most of us, it's drummed out of. So I love this. I love this whole idea that we have a huge, just the word sensitivity, we're actually covering a huge band of differences, aren't we?
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I had a client recently, and she wasn't particularly sensitive to the remedies, but then I gave her bryonia, and my goodness, instantly she started having palpitations and a real change. And we realized just with that one remedy, she just had to hold it. And she just had to hold it for 5 minutes and then put it down. And that was enough. So what we're also saying on another facet is that each remedy might be different for you.
Absolutely, Mary. I agree with you. And I would like to say we don't need to use remedies all the time. We only use the remedies when we're stuck. And absolutely, it could be enough to have only one dose of a lamb, or
Yeah.
whatever potency, whatever you feel resonate to you, and it could be enough to move forward. So it's important, like we're not continuously, all the time using these remedies, and it would just only help to kick our vital force, to help us heal, to help understand that that you know that we can live with that. Yeah,
Because the remedies are just acting to make a change. Once they've made the
yeah,
change, that's it. It's done. It's done its job. It's not needed anymore. So in actual fact, what we're saying is sensitive people, we need for provings, don't we? We need them to
absolutely.
help us. It's the people who are able to stay being themselves within an environment that wants to make everybody the same. Does that make
Absolutely.
sense?
Yeah. Yeah, Mary, you're right. Yes. Yeah. We have those people for proving, and unfortunately, like there is some stories where the sensitive people couldn't be healed, but they could make a great effort to homeopathic world, and they could prove the remedies, they could help
Yeah,
homeopathy to be success, and yeah.
that's amazing. Kristina, have you got any examples, any cases that you want to share with us?
Sure. I have a case, but the people is changing in that case. So for privacy. So
Yeah,
I have the mother and the child, the boy. So pregnancy was doing really well for the mother, and then the child born, and they have the arguments with her partner, and they start fight, and mother cry all night, all day. Uh, Beside the child, okay, and the child becomes sensitive. He just took the energy of the mother, of that deep grief, and become very all that energy come out through his skin, and he got a very bad eczema. So when I see when mother come to me, I see mother is crying during all consultation, and there is nothing was about really the child. It was a lot of about the mother, and the child just take that energy. We should remember that the child and the mother is like a one energy field,
yeah,
like one
yeah,
energy field till about 7 or 10 year old.
yeah,
And so the child becomes so sensitive. So we give the remedy to the mother.
yeah,
And then, of course, we start treatment to the child, and eczema start become better and better when mother become better.
Yeah.
That's kind of very important to look on some sensitive cases that is not only about the child, that's about the dynamic and the family important as well. So that's one of really good example where you can look and heal like eczema. It's not only the good issues, it's we need to look deeper sometimes and see that that could be very useful.
I think you're absolutely right, and to understand communications. And we find as homeopaths quite often, don't we, that if we're going to help the children, we quite often need to be treating one of the parents as well. And I hadn't thought of that as sensitivity before, but of course it is. And you mentioned there the one energy field, and I find that a lot with animals as well, that you can see from a reaction that actually you look at the owner and you think, okay, the owner needs this, so probably the cat needs this as well. So that is related as well. Gosh, that can open up a whole lot of conversations, Kristina, couldn't it?
Absolutely. And I love to speak about things like that because we're seeing, I actually would like really share one more case with the sisters. So that was very interesting dynamic. We're noticing with mother go to the treatment as well, and these two sisters doing the treatment. And we're noticing that one sister, the remedy which one was prescribed to one sister was took by another sister, and her remedy was took by another sister. So they took on remedies, and they healed that way. So it's sometimes we have that dynamic as well with the husband and wife. They need opposite remedies, and they healing that way. So that's very fascinating. Yeah.
Gosh, that is a whole new subject. So shall we if we're sending people to your Facebook group, it could cover any of these aspects, really, couldn't it? About how to prescribe homeopathy, whether homeopathy is more gentle than normal medications and things. What are they finding? Are they coming because it's easier, perhaps, to prescribe in different ways for sensitive people? And then, of course, there could be the family situations, as you're saying, and that energy level between them, or just about which remedies would be suitable for these sensitivities. So there's a whole lot there that you've got going. It's a huge topic.
Absolutely, Mary. Yes. And we're happy to help those people. And we're happy to tell more, about the remedies, reactions. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting
That's right.
stuff we can speak.
Yeah, and it's a completely different way of thinking about homeopathy. So thank you so much for starting up this group, because I think it's opening up a whole lot of topics that we don't talk about enough. So we will put a link to the group underneath, and we'll also put a link to your website as well, so that people can get in touch. Thank you so much for coming to talk to us. Thank you, Kristina. It's always a pleasure talking with you, and I look forward to next time we meet. Next week, I'm going to be talking to Kiera, and we're talking about homeopathy for our seniors. So what remedies are really useful? How can homeopathy help people just feel more at ease wherever they are in whatever stage of life they're at? I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. I do hope you've enjoyed these episodes, and I do hope you can subscribe to our channels. Now, there are various ways for you to listen to our podcast or watch it on video on YouTube. So whether it's iTunes, Spotify, or YouTube, please do subscribe, and please do leave us a review. If you leave us a review on these platforms, then more people will see our podcast. We just want more people to share the joy of homeopathy. It's a choice that everybody should know about. Please do everything you can to help us help more people.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode and look forward to listening to our next one. Please don't forget to follow our podcast on your chosen channel, and please do leave us a review so we can continue to share homeopathy with as many people as possible. If you do have any questions, please do reach out to us on any of our social platforms mentioned in the show notes. We at Homeopathy 24/7 hope to empower you on your natural health journey.